Hello everyone, welcome back to Conder Cinema Showcase. I am your host and today we're going to be time traveling to 1990.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
On today's review spotlight, we have Goodfellas, an American biographical gangster movie directed by Martin Scorsese. It is based on true story, specifically a book called Wise Guy by Nicholas Pileggi, who's also involved in the screenplay of this film, along with the director Martin Scorsese, who is a filmmaker known for directing films that explore the themes of crime, identity, morality, and also his unique cinematic style. His cinematic style or his cinematography is signature because he uses cinematic innovation and traditional filmmaking style together. This includes dynamic camera movement, rhythmic editing, and also using soundtracks that serve the theme of the movie, which I'll get back to in the later part of this video. Goodfellas spans for about 146 minutes and stars notable actors like Ray Liotta, who plays Henry Hill, the protagonist in this film, Robert De Niro as Jimmy Conaway, Joe Pesci as Tommy DeVito, and Lauren Bracco as Karen Hill. Goodfellas was nominated for 6 Academy Awards and won 1 Academy Award. The movie follows Henry Hill, which is played by Ray Liotta, a young man who grew up idealizing gangsters, or as they called themselves, the wise guys, in his Brooklyn neighborhood. He grew up around them. He grew up fantasizing the luxury that came with the gangster life. We can see the moment he says, "As far back as I can remember, I've always wanted to be a gangster." Martin Scorsese is known for his focus on characters who often struggle with internal conflict, and you can see that clearly through Henry's narration. The film is fast-paced and follows a narration by Henry Hill where he takes us through it all. As we progress through the film, which spans over 3 decades of narration, we get a deep dive into Henry's fascination over the mob and later involvement in organized crime. He begins working for Pauline Cicero's crew, who is a cold and charming mob leader, where he meets and becomes allies with Jimmy Conaway, a seasoned thief, and Tommy DeVito, a violent and unpredictable and unintentionally funny, some might say, um, associate. Through small jobs, hijacks, and large-scale thefts like the renowned Lufthansa heist, Henry's involvement increases day after day. It deepens, and eventually drug trafficking and internal conflicts lead to uh, paranoia and even betrayal. Scorsese's direction gives the film constant momentum. The narrative uses voiceover by Henry Hill uh, to create an insider's view to the mob life. The editing by Thelma Schoonmaker is fast and rhythmic, keeping the pacing tight and engaging. And the cinematography includes one of the most famous tracking shots in cinema, my favorite as well, the 3 minutes Copacabana sequence, which follows Henry and Karen through the back entrance of a nightclub in a single continuous take. The soundtrack features a curated mix of 1950s and 1970s popular music, which anchors the story in time and complements the changing tone from early admiration to eventual chaos. The actors obviously played their role perfectly in the storytelling. Ray Liotta delivered a balanced portrayal of Henry Hill, capturing both ambition and moral erosion, and Robert De Niro as Jimmy Conaway as calm and collected and methodical criminal whose charm often masks his cold calculation. Tommy DeVito, played by Joe Pesci, who even won the Academy Award as a Best Supporting Role, derived most of the tension of the film in the notable and known scene "Funny How" moment.
What the fuck is so funny about me?
Lauren Bracco as Karen Hill, which is the female perspective in the narration of this film throughout the film. She gives us a grounded performance, offering the rare sights into the mob life from the perspective of a spouse, which is uh, geared by fear and greed, even one could say. And Paul Sorvino, who plays Pauline Cicero, functions as the quiet authority ruling through the presence rather than speech. The film mainly explores the distortion of the American dream, uh, success achieved through crime and theft rather than legitimate effort. It examines loyalty, betrayal, showing how trust within the mob collapses under greed and survival instincts. Violence is portrayed with blunt realism. Scorsese avoids glorification of the mob life and crime. The brutality is set in casual and often senseless. Film employs freeze frames, jump cuts, and slow motion sequences to emphasize key moments. You can feel what the characters are feeling because the camera work is dynamic yet precise and often moving with the characters rather than observing them. And you feel like you're part of the film along with the characters. It's frequently cited in film schools and even later was added to the National Film Registry for its cultural and historical significance. Goodfellas stands as one of the most accomplished works by Martin Scorsese, uh, a precise study of ambition, corruption, and eventually downfall. It's a combination of authentic storytelling, technical mastery, and controlled performances secures its reputation as a benchmark for modern American cinema. In summary, Goodfellas remains a film that captures both the appeal and disaster and collapse of a life built on power and crime. And the story was executed with precision, not just sentiment. I personally think this was a solid gangster movie, and I personally did like it. Let me know what you thought of it if you've already seen it. Thanks for watching this episode of Conder Cinema Showcase. Let me know what you thought of the film, and let me know what we should be reviewing in the coming episodes. And don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. Bye!
Henry, here's an arm.
Very funny, guys.
Here's a leg.
Here's a wing.